Article 3, Section 3 of the California Constitution establishes three distinct powers of the state government: legislative, executive, and judicial. Guess which one is my favorite? The judicial branch is led by the Chief Justice of the state of California. We are honored to have the Chief here today as we celebrate the dedication of the long-awaited Sutter County Courthouse. After over 20 years as a trial court judge and appellate court justice, Tani Cantil-Sakauye became Chief Justice in January 2011 and has focused on a vision for improving the public's access to justice, building partnerships to lead the judicial branch out of the state's worst fiscal crisis since the Great Depression, and working to improve the branch's efficiency, effectiveness, transparency, and accountability. She's a tireless advocate for the judicial branch, and on top of all that, she's a native of the Central Valley, having grown up in Sacramento. Please welcome the Honorable Tani Cantil-Sakauye.
Presiding Judge Aronson and the Sutter County judicial officers and Mary Beth Todd and staff for inviting myself to be here today to share in the dedication of this beautiful building. Let me also say that I'm grateful to the band, who I found to be charming, having teenagers of my own, but also for the cold snap, as Judge Aronson describes this weather. So why do we build courthouses? Why do we build courthouses? And you already provided the answer to why we build courthouses. In the Pledge of Allegiance, we talked about liberty and justice for all. And that happens in a courthouse. It happens to real people in individual cases that become the law of the land that start in the courthouses. So the next question is, who builds courthouses? Well, California's judicial branch, as far as I know, is the only judicial branch in the country that builds its own temples of justice. And we don't do this alone. Many years ago, after a hard-fought battle for a Senate bill that was signed into law, it gave the judicial branch the authority and the power to build its own courthouses and to take those away from the county with their agreement and their support, as you've heard today, that would permit the judicial branch to take responsibility for the courthouses. And in that process, we had the support not only of the legislative branch and the executive branch, as well as over 225,000 lawyers who agreed to increased fees in order to build these courthouses so that the general fund of the state of California is not tapped to build our courthouses. So the judicial branch and the lawyers really do build our own branch. And I point out the number of people, including the Sutter County, the advisory group, and the professionals who were hired, to point out that with all of these people here to build these beautiful courthouses that will last well beyond our lifetimes, well beyond our professions, I ask you, all of this is collaborative. And when you're in a collaboration, the one thing you can guarantee is give and take, disagreement. That's the one thing, after 5 years as Chief Justice, I can tell you, in this principled branch, in this educated branch, in this dedicated branch, in this compassionate branch, that we all get at the table, we collaborate, and frankly, we fight. But we do it for higher principles, for greater good, to have a courthouse like this, to have the 22 courthouses that are under construction, the 24 that are complete, the 7 that are also breaking ground and halfway through as well. So that's who builds courthouses. That's who tries to ensure liberty and justice for all. And so as we stand before this building, it's a spectacular building. But more spectacular than the building to me is the extraordinary effort that was made to create this building. And that it will live long, long past us, and all of our struggles and our challenges will be lost because it will be replaced with conscious appreciation for those who come through these doors. The public, the needy, the forlorn, the lost, and the hopeless. So I thank you for being here today. I look forward to continuing to work with you. And this is truly, truly symbolic, in my view, of the judicial branch over the years And that is, we fight hard for principle, we fight with each other for principle, we fight together for the common good, and then we erect long-standing buildings or laws or rules of law, however you may interpret that serve people other than ourselves. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your work.